Hey there guys, welcome back to the Blackstone SMP. This is going to be episode number 16, and today we're going to be building a modern house. If you are brand new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes, and if you've been around, make sure you hit the like button and comment down below on what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future. Alright, let's get right into it today. I think that the build, or actually I know that the build is going to be built over here in the town of Varrock. I have a spot that I want it to go, and it's going to be pretty close to Joe's build over here. I want to make this lake here a bit bigger and then build my house right here, and that way we can have a nice lakefront view. So this whole bit in front I want to chop out and basically make the lake like a whole lot bigger. You can see down here I dotted a little line of soul sand, and that's kind of just where I want the edge of the lake to be. So it's going to be pretty much all around here and then come back around over here and cut off right there. So it'll be right on the edge of the chest build here, and all of this area, that's all going to be taken out. And then that little spot right above my head, that's where the house is going to go. Alright, so I'm going to flatten out this land and just make a nice little spot for myself so that we can start the build, just lay down the foundation and get things going. So I measured the build in my creative testing world, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it was just offhand. And I'm going to have to clear out a whole lot of trees over here. I'm basically going to have to clear everything out from this entire dirt line here. So all the way back to here basically, and all the way up to here. The house itself isn't actually going to encompass that entire area, but the yard and the pool and everything around it, that does need that much amount of space. It also has a little bit of a wall surrounding the house, so that's going to be really what takes up the most of the plot here. Alright, I got some tree chopping, some dirt placing, and a little bit of terraforming to do. Alright, instead of chopping the trees all the way down, I'm going to take them down to Y69, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest of the area around them with dirt. That way I don't have to fill up everything with dirt, and there'll be some space that's already taken up by the leaves and the logs. It's going to look really weird when I'm done taking out all the leaves and chopping the trees halfway, but here goes. Well, it definitely looks pretty weird, but it's alright. I just gotta go ahead and go fill up everything in with some dirt now, and then I can start building on top. Well, I do need to collect some resources first, but then I can start building. I did leave a good bit of space here in the front, just so that there could be some room for some pathways. That way we can wrap around over here to Joe's house. And there's definitely space over on this other side for another build right behind the chest. Definitely a nice little plot right here that we could put something in. And we could probably even get one in on the other side as well. It would be cool to just have like a nice little neighborhood of big houses. I still probably want to do a little terraforming here on this hill. Probably make a little bridge across and kind of just make it look a little bit neater. Have a little bit more of a slope to it instead of so much of a cliff. Or maybe I do the exact opposite and make it more of a cliff. It goes like right down into the lake. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, I'm going to finish putting in all this dirt, and then we got to do some resource collection. Now that the plot is all ready to start building on, I need to go and get some materials. I pretty much don't have anything that I need for this build, and I need a ton of materials. I mean, I need all of this stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm not actually going to be going to get all of that today, and some of it is extra just so that I have extra materials at the end of the day, but I'm just going to get what I need for the exterior of the build today. So that's mostly like the sandstone and the deepslate and the spruce, concrete, and that kind of stuff. So I need to get a few things, and as far as all the interior details and all the extra materials, that can wait for another episode. Alright, let's jump into a quick little resource montage, and I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I'm pretty sure I have everything that I need to actually start building now. And the first thing I'm going to do is replace this line of dirt with a line of sandstone, or cut sandstone. So I actually want to bring in this corner a few blocks, and I'm just using this to measure it out. I want to have kind of a little slope on it just to break up this big square, because otherwise it's a little bit boring. I think I need to go one more in though. There we go, that looks right. And I am going to need another block on the back side, because on top of the sandstone I'm going to be using walls, and going back and forth like this, that's the only way to make sure the walls actually close up. Otherwise it's kind of going to look like a little prison. I am going to bring the sandstone up 2 blocks for the base layer of the wall. And before I go too far, I do want to count off 20 blocks, and then there's going to be a gap between the last block there and the 20th block from this side. So we're just going to knock out this big chunk of the wall, and that way I don't build a whole section that I don't need. Because I would totally just do that. I would end up going all the way around and building the entire wall throughout that big chunk that wasting resources and materials and wasting time. And now I'm going to place in 3 layers, just randomized of the different deepslate variants. And kind of just... This is going to take a minute. This goes a lot slower than regular just building with one block, because you kind of just got to switch back and forth. And there are mods in Java Edition that will do this for you, but this is Bedrock and we don't have fancy things like that. Just good old vanilla Minecraft. And honestly, this is one of those things that's just like, if you just let yourself kind of relax and enjoy the process, it really, it's a lot of fun. But then you do stupid things like this where you put like 3 in this. Dang it, that doesn't look good. I mean, I'm sure it looks fine, but like, I get a little picky, There's a few little rules I like to follow when doing randomizing and all of that. So it's not like super random, like kind of has a pattern to it. And typically like 3 in a row like this would kind of be against the rules. And they're not usually like hard set rules. They're just sort of, if I see it while I'm going, then I'm gonna change it. It's things that come to mind. I should be using probably a lot more of the wall though. I feel like the brick should be the main one and the rest should be kind of fitted in, but at this point I'm just gonna go even with everything. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now I just gotta go all the way around the wall doing that. And I'm not gonna record myself doing it either. I'm just going to relax for a little bit and put in some blocks. And now we will put 2 blocks of sandstone for the 3rd layer on top. Alright, and that gives us a nice big perimeter wall. Because rich people for some reason like to put walls around their houses and seclude themselves from everybody around them. I don't really understand why, but it's a thing. But for real though, it does add like a nice little sectioned off area for a build, kind of encompasses it all into its own thing and really kind of makes you feel like you're encased into the house altogether. And just like to be clear, I've definitely designed this thing entirely block for block in creative mode, and I'm just now translating it to survival mode, so it's not like that's where my thoughts are coming from here. But anyways, now I need to lay the foundation, so I'm going to get a bunch of stone and essentially map out where the house is going to be built on. So I've laid out the basic shape of how the house is going to look, and it's all broken up into 9x9 chunks, so I can map out my floor plan a little bit better. Some of the walls are going to be made out of spruce, and some of the walls are going to be made out of sandstone, so this is just going to help me just make the floor layout a little bit better and know exactly where all the walls need to be placed, so I don't end up just like 1 or 2 blocks off in any weird spots. I'm not really sure why Joe put a beacon over here, but I don't actually really need it right now. I'm gonna just cap that. Thanks though. This one right in the middle is meant to be the entrance, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some stone right in here and just fill this one out. And I know that this side was made out of spruce as well, so there are a few details that are supposed to be made out of Blackstone, but I'm not exactly sure where that's all supposed to go, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill in what I'm positive about. And then I can refer back to my creative testing world just to figure out exactly where everything is supposed to be. And this one in the back is also kind of like a back patio, so we're going to fill that right in with stone right away. I am going to fill in the rest of it with stone as well. I just wanted to take a minute to put in the walls first and get a little bit better bearings for what I'm doing here. Alright, that looks just about right to me. There needs to be, I think, one more wall right here. Maybe. Technically, I think that's supposed to be bookshelves. And I kind of like this wall behind it, so I'm going to actually leave that blank. Alright, now I just got to go fill in the rest of it with stone, and this will just take me a minute. Now that the foundation is all put in place, we can go ahead and start putting up the walls. And this main piece in the center is meant to kind of be the focal point of the build and to draw your eyes upwards. And all of the rest of the shapes around it are kind of meant to support it in a nice sort of weird random geometric sort of pattern. So I didn't want to go with too much white concrete because I feel like modern builds use way too much white concrete in general. So I only used it for the roof, and I actually added a line of white or black concrete around the edge for trim as well. And I feel like it added a nice little touch. Alright, that is the bulk of the build, pretty much all to put together. There are still a few details that need to be done, including this huge open space over here. I want this wall to be really open and just have like a really open, airy type of feel to it, so it's going to be a lot of glass that's going into it. Pretty much glass and Blackstone, or exactly glass and Blackstone actually, but what we're going to do is just make a pillar going along here. I guess, can I jump up and pillar? Oh no, I can't do that. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're going to go all the way up here, and boop, there we go. We're going to want one there, and one there, and then probably one there. Let's see, here's 9 right here, and that's going to be glass, that's not. There, and there. Okay. Alright, that looks like a good pattern to me. Now we just gotta stretch them all the way to the ceiling. And I've made another zoo exhibit. I'm just kidding, I do have a plan. So now that those are all in, I'm gonna come through and 3 blocks up just so we can walk underneath it. We're gonna put a little line just to break up the vertical touch of it all and make this shape. And now to fill it all in with glass panes. And there we have a nice, open, airy living room. And we've got this little side office just right next to it as well, which you can access through one of these doors. I mean, you can go through here. I guess technically I could put a little one here as well. Just knock out those panes and boom, we got a door. But yeah, that's kind of the style of the windows that I'm generally going to go for on this build. And there's just a few other ones that I need to put in as well. And this was definitely the bulk of it and the big one. But I think it just adds such a nice feeling to the room, really opens it up and keeps the build from feeling like super claustrophobic or super cramped or anything like that. So there are a few more details I need to do. One, I want to come right here in this corner, and I'm going to place a few more black stone walls just like that. And then on this side, we are going to do something similar to the windows in the back. So we're going to do black stone right here. And right here, and then we're going to do glass panes right down the middle. So that adds, again, just like a nice airy open touch when you're looking at the face of the building. Just kind of lets you see in a little bit of the building, not super far that you're like encroaching on the living space or anything. Oh, hello guys. But yeah, it just adds a nice little touch of detail. And of course that brings me to the front door as well. So we're going to go ahead and plop one in there. Let's do a window right here, and probably another one right here. No, this gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do it just like that. So we'll put 3 on top, put some windows up here, just a couple on each side, and fill in the gaps over here. And there we go, we have a nice front door. This isn't exactly how I designed it, but it's pretty much what I was going for, so I think it's pretty good. I may end up changing it up a little bit later, but I'm pretty happy with it for now. Alright, I need a window on this one here, because this big flat face is just, really it's the only thing that's not like broken up too much or has like just too much flatness. Everything else has like a little bit of detail, nothing like super overwhelming, but enough to make it just kind of like divert the eye away from just a big, flat, boring space. Alright, so I think I'm gonna come up like 3 blocks or so. And yeah, just like that. And we're gonna chunk this out all the way up to the similar height on the top. So 3 blocks from the top, and we will go ahead and just pull everything else out. Oh, no, I went way too far. That was dumb. We only want 4 blocks. There we go. Alright, now I want to line the outside of the window with just some Blackstone. It's meant to be a little bit more of a modern style window, so I don't want it jutting out like some of the kind of more traditional windowsills would. So I'm going to fill in 3 glass panes from the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to put just a little divider in between them. And that will just kind of help break up the window instead of having one giant pane of glass. There we go. I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. Alright, I think that is just about it for the exterior of the build, for now at least. Let's take a little fly around. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that's looking real nice. From the other side, and that big backyard. Ooh, it's gonna be sweet doing some stuff back here. And of course, just coming straight on. Look at that. Oh. I'm pretty happy with how this has come out so far. I mean, it's looking exactly like I wanted it to based off of my creative designing and everything. Although it does need some more detail work, especially just sort of like gardening outside. Obviously, the interior needs to be all done and all that kind of stuff. But I do think that's going to be for a future episode. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that one. And I think that's going to be just about it for this episode. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.